So a very good morning to all the viewers and subscribers, and welcome back to the virtual safari. It's been quite an interesting morning for me actually. While I've been sitting and preparing the vehicle and getting all the camera equipment ready, I heard a very soft contact call from a lion. And for those of you who don't know, lions will have multiple different calls depending on how they want to communicate with each other. So you might hear the classic one you might always see on the videos, that roar that they give at the top of their lungs. You know, they're giving it absolute horns, which would be an advertisement call trying to display their territory. But this one I heard was a very soft contact call, and that just means that they're just trying to relocate members of the pride. I might sit here for another 5 minutes just to see if I can hear it again, to really establish that direction. So a very exciting morning here. We have 3 young males. You saw one of the other ones pass through the back of the frame there. And we know that the Mbiris are close by. These aren't part of the Mbiris at all. So I'm going to try to get a good look and see who these guys are. So these males still look like some young subadults, probably sitting at about 3.5. There's 3 of them together, so most likely a coalition that's been out from a pride and now living their nomadic life. But it's very interesting where they've come in. They've come in from the north and are basically heading straight towards the direction of Tinswalo. You can see this male eating a little bit of grass there, just to help with the digestion and line the stomach. continued to Wild Dog Dam, and I've come across quite a great find here, not something that you get to see every day. This white bird over here is called the African spoonbill, and if it lifts its beak, we'll get it to be able to see quite a characteristic bill in the shape of that spoon, hence the name. And have a look how it's busy feeding. It is known as a filter feeder, so you'll see it moving its bill in and around the water and only picking up what it would want to eat. And I'll just keep doing that along the shoreline until it finds something. And the bird life at Wild Dog Dam recently has been amazing. As we are deep into the winter, a lot of the water sources are drying up. Wild Dog Dam has retained a lot of its water, so it's attracting all the other birds from other dams and forcing them to come here. And now we have this concentration of all these water birds at Wild Dog Dam. And here we have a blacksmith lapwing in the foreground and a grey heron in the background. I'm now approaching the area of Main Dam, not too far away, and I've come across a whole bunch of vultures, not only in this tree that's in the frame, but there's multiple trees around that has a whole bunch of vultures inside, which is very interesting. And also the vulture that's on the far left hand side is a hooded vulture, and then those other 3 or 4 to the right of it are all white backed. And it's a very promising sign when you see, you know, multiple species of vultures inside it or all on a tree together. It's a very promising sign that there might be a kill somewhere. So I'm hoping that the Narus and Red Road managed to bring something down. Alrighty everyone, so the general game on the reserve at the moment has been a little bit quiet. So I thought maybe we could speak about something a little bit different. I've isolated out a track over here, and I thought maybe we could speak about, you know, who these tracks belong to, what speed the animal is going at, and maybe why it's important for us to know this generally while tracking animals, and also just to find animals in general in the bush. Here we are at the 2 tracks that I've isolated out here. One being over here, and another one slightly forward over there. Okay, so when looking at trying to identify an animal track, I always go and look at the back pad, and when I say the back pad, I mean the palm area of the track. And what you'll get at the back here are these lobes. So sometimes you might get 3. So for a cat or a cat-like animal, you might get 2 for a dog or a dog-like animal, or you might get two, but one extending further back than the other, being asymmetrical, and that would lead you towards hyena. So if you have a look at this back pad, there's one lobe and then a second lobe that extends further back than the first one. So that would lead us straight towards a hyena. But just to make sure, you can have a look at the toes. You see how that's almost a moon shape or a kidney bean shape. It's very characteristic of a hyena. As well, with these little dots over here at the front, okay, those are the claw marks. When lions and leopards are walking, you won't see those claw marks, but you definitely will do with hyenas and also sometimes with dogs. Toes being at the front over here, so we can establish that it's moving in this direction. And to determine whether it's the front or the back foot, you look at the size. So you can see how broad this one is and how a little bit narrow and longer, elongated this track is. The reason why this one is a little bit more broad and rounded is because it's the front track, okay, or the front paw, and the hyenas need a larger surface area on the front paw because it's carrying a lot more weight on the shoulders, on the neck, than what it would be in the rear. So it needs a bigger surface area to distribute that weight a lot more evenly, to be a lot more stabilized and balanced when walking. These two tracks are fairly close together, so this is just a regular gait for a hyena, so it was just probably walking in this direction looking for something. But if you had to find the back foot being either on top of the front foot or even in front of the front foot, that means it's moving at a quicker pace, it's running, it's having a longer stride length, and it can help you determine whether it's in a rush somewhere or if it's maybe just searching in a different area. And it's very important for us to know these different clues that the animals give us, because it can give us the opportunity to maybe think, oh, this hyena's running in this direction, maybe we can go follow up there, maybe lions have made a kill and it's gone there to try and scavenge, or in this case just being a regular gait, walking at a normal pace. There is some water in front of me over here, so maybe it was just making its way into that direction just to get a little bit of a drink. Just bumped into Red Road here. You can see he's busy eating on a kill, and it looks like a giraffe kill, but not a particularly large giraffe. The rest of the Noriprod are around, but he is the only one feeding on the kill. He seems to be dominating it at the moment. I'm sure everyone would have gotten their fair share so far. Alright, this is where I'm going to end this virtual safari. I mean, what a day for lions. Straight out the gate, like I said, I didn't know who those lions were going to be. The Mbiris were very far north, the Naras were very far south, and we got surprised incredibly about 3 new males. After speaking to a couple other guides in the area, we've concluded that these are the 3 Monwana males. They've come from very far north in 2 reserves down, and apparently they do have actually more brothers in that same age group, but 3 of them have decided to stick together. 3 of them have decided to stay with the pride. I'm not too sure really why. Maybe those 3 specifically were being put under a lot of pressure and decided to leave. But amazing to have them in this area, so we'll definitely be following up if they stick around. And Red Road on a giraffe kill, well, as well with the Mbiris pride. It wasn't a very big giraffe. Red Road was definitely dominating it and making sure that he was going to get fed properly, but it also looked like the females also had a good feed, so that's great as well. I'll probably head back there straight in the morning, see if I can find anything if they haven't finished it already. But stay tuned, we'll keep you updated on the lion dynamics, especially with the males going on in this reserve. It's been absolutely crazy, and I hope to see you all on the next virtual safari.